So I did get the, I did get her laughing on camera the other day. I was lamenting that I didn't film the woman who had the demons in her, demonically possessed, whatever, whether it was one or two or whatever. And when I was at the corner, the video wasn't going on about how, you know, demons are stupid, all this and that. They're not that smart. After invoking in the name of Jesus Christ, didn't do anything. She just stood there laughing and laughing and laughing. And I thought I didn't catch her doing it, but I have an image here from the video that I looked at as I was going over it before. And this is this was the face she had like the whole time, just like this exaggerated head back, laughing. But you couldn't. It didn't seem like she was making any noise. Occasionally you'd hear a little bit like like that. She was doing that the whole time now. But she was of course like mocking, you know, what I was saying. Which is kind of which leads me to believe, like I said, that there was a strong one in there, maybe a more important one. And I know they had tears. I don't care to know them, whatever. That's their own little gay thing. Or there could have been more than one, which is the case a lot of times. Like when a lot of times I talk about like people having a demon in them or trying to get a demon out of them, or, you know, hey, I'm talking about a demon here. It's not just one. There's a lot of them. And they are definitely like, they are a hive mind. Like they all know what they said to each other. They know everything about you. If one comes in, you're not in a way, you're not coming into contact with one or a couple in this body. You're talking to them all. I don't know if that's the equivalent of like what we have with us, where we have like the cloud consciousness thing, where everything you say goes into it. You can take stuff out of it. It's responsible for a lot of things. Like when you see those child prodigies that they just know how to play Beethoven's Fifth and they never heard it. You're like, well, how the fuck did you do that? He got that from the cloud. However that transference happens, I don't know. I mean, I had a friend where I saw like him actually getting like a download from it, or what we thought was. It looked like it. We just kind of went into a trance on the bus. And then when he came out of it, he just knew all this shit. So I don't know how that happens, but it does happen. So maybe that side has one of those things too. Or all the Nephilim, the Forgotten Ones, they're all connected in some way. Whatever the case is, you're talking to a bunch of them. So yeah, she didn't respond at all to the evoking the name of Jesus thing. And then, well, I mean, we've gone through this a couple times. No point in continuing, but, you know, just figured I'd share that image with you because I did catch her laughing. Next time we get one, which is hopefully soon, I'm gonna try some different stuff. I've just never been in a situation where one is moving away from me the entire time. She was like, it's unusual. It's usually they're not trying to get away from you. But I think in this case, just if I just can keep going on it for a second, they're looking for a better, a better host. You know, they're always good to upgrade. So I think they had a good one there, because that woman she was like, I don't know, probably my age. She was pretty. She was well dressed. Had like regular shopping bags. She looked like a good score, like for them, you know, because they usually have to choose from whose ever vibrational energy is the lowest. A lot of times that's people that are addicted to drugs or homeless people or things like that. So they must have got her somehow, and I don't know. It could be they got that body, and then they all just got in it, or he invited more of them to come. I don't know how it works. I have no idea. But I think they got a good one. They felt they had a good one, and they didn't want to risk losing it by interacting with me. So they kept on the way, because they know all about me. They know who I am. They know the whole deal. When this whole thing first started, I thought in my mind that it was more like a white blood cell attacking a cut, just a function of the system. When you come into this spiritual war thing, you begin to understand what it is. You you become a player on the board, you go off on the screen like a radar, like tick, 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 and you become like a cut in the body, and the body will send white blood cells to try to repair that damage. They don't really care how it got there. It doesn't get personal, like, he cut his finger in the you know, changing, you know, whatever, the air conditioning blade or whatever. It's not about, they just go and they fix it, you know. There's no personal thing. And that's how I thought these guys functioned for a very long time, until I learned through other people and just experience otherwise that they know every interaction you've had with them. And that's how they can continue these conversations. Because, excuse me, terrible, such a pig. The conversations would a lot of times continue, especially in the early days when I first started talking to them. I would get one guy saying something, and then the next one that would approach us would continue what they were saying. You know, I used to talk about how they call me a pig all the time. No, he's going about pigs, pigs, pigs. They call me a pig. The pig thing, I think, is the biblical story there with, I just don't think they like pigs because Jesus, I thought it was my neighbor, unless I don't. Because he put them in the bodies of pigs. And then they in turn, demons, it's this story where he was trying to keep them out of people. There was one guy that was possessed, who was living in a graveyard. Jesus found him. Wait a minute, is the guy in the graveyard story different than the pig thing? He did this quite a bit, where he'd drive out demons and stuff. And he put them into the bodies of pigs, and they as pigs went and drowned themselves in the water because they didn't want to be in the bodies, I guess. So they don't like pigs, you know, and they always yell about it. And they were always calling me one. They were very nice to my friend all the time, though. I think they wanted him for some other purpose or something. They're always trying to get us apart from each other because he's awake to the spiritual war thing too. He's hip to it as well. So him and I together, exchanging information or just being together, creates a much bigger blip on their radar. It becomes more of a problem situation. I mean, sometimes downtown we just have one guy after another, you know, coming up to us. One body or one host coming up to us. Always with the intent of trying to separate us, or just for me to leave, to get me out of there. Yeah, but anyway, so they do know, they keep track of the interactions they've had with you before. You know, it's not as autonomous as I first believed it was. It's very personal. Like, they know everything about you. So I think, winding back to the point I'm making here is, maybe they felt like this guy's an asshole. He's too much bother. Just keep walking, you know, because that's probably what they felt about me. Like, where this guy, he knows, he can see us. And that's one thing that makes them nervous right away. They don't like being seen. In fact, just by seeing them or letting them know you're aware of their presence is almost all you have to do, and they'll split. Usually, depending. In this case, it'll happen 100% of the time, 50% of the time. But in this case, I think they had a good one. They got a good one, and they didn't want to let it go, so they kept moving her. And I don't know. I don't know if those people were helping or they were part of it. They sure as shit didn't make any noise when they were around me, the 3 or 4 other people. And then when I got away from her at that light, they all filled in behind her, like they were running cover for her. In the video, I'm like, wait, where the fuck did she go? I thought she disappeared. Like, I've never seen them do that before, you know, what the fuck. But it's not, you know, maybe it can happen. I don't know. I don't know everything about this stuff. I've only been doing this, like, what, 5 years, 2017, something like that. I've always been doing this self-appointed gig. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just going over the same ground again. But I did want you to see that picture, though. Before I go, check this out. Check this story out. This is the second time this has happened around here. They followed the GPS right into the wire. I talked recently about how me and some friends believe that there's some kind of low-level mind fog spell here or something. That I don't know if it's in the interest of making people spend money, or making people unaware of themselves for various reasons. It is also a hub for people moving, I guess, is, you know, so I don't want to trigger anybody, any algorithm things, but yeah, so to make them more, I don't know, who knows? They don't do anything for just one result, you know, whether it's the farmers or the demonic farmer, Satan, they're all the same, they're all on the same team. The things we see socially on the street, it's all related. It all comes down to one thing. The bad guy versus the good guy. That's it. It's all of it. All of it can be boiled down to that. No matter the issue, what part of it, what kind of issue it is, you can always boil it down to that, and that's what it. And that's what's going on. Yeah, but that was crazy. Just drove right into it. It didn't surprise me though that lady did that. I'm going to figure out what I'm doing here, and I'll try to get one more in before the night's over. Thanks for stopping by. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.